It's your boy Salim from Notorious S back with another video. Baby. Man, here's why I think that you should actively be seeking out to have conversation sit downs with people whose opinion differ from yours. It's because the political space or the landscape that we live in right now is actually catered or wants to make us more and more intolerant of other people's opinions. And it makes sense because look, as human beings, we tend to group and be in packs with people who are like-minded, who think like us. But the truth is, we live in a world where like there's a lot of big cities, and they're like melting pots of a lot of cultures, thought processes, religions, origins in terms of where you're located in the world, which is automatically going to end up in people, getting together based on some ideals and some thought processes. But it doesn't take away from the fact that even though it's a thing and it's part of our nature, you should work actively on being able to sit down, hearing things that you might not like or that you might not think are true, might not agree with, and still being able to have a conversation because it's the basis of us all living together. You know what I'm saying? Living together successfully and being able to have a society that works, bro. Because look, my problem is, and the reason why I'm making this video is if a lot of the social media platforms that are up right now, if you go on there, it's like an underlying message, or it's just present if you look at it enough, that they do not really preach inclusivity, or at least the reflection from the people that are using these apps are not using or preaching, or at least not practicing what they preach. Like, let's take political stances, like political leanings, for an example. A lot of liberal leaning people will claim that they are inclusive of all genders, races, walks of life, and all these things, but it's just conditional. It's not real acceptance of other people. It's just acceptance on the basis that you agree somehow, some way with them. And the moment that you think that what their practices or opinions are incorrect, they're going to strike, they're going to attack, which is not real inclusiveness. Take an example, go to TikTok. Right, the moment you go on somebody's page, right, and they made a statement or they said something that you don't agree with, let you and I or anybody put a message that says that you disagree, and watch how fast your comments are going to be flagged, attacked. You're going to be attacked personally, demeaned, snide remarks and all these things just to kind of silence you. Because it's much easier. That's why the whole cancel culture is so prevalent, because it's much easier to silence you than have you challenge my thoughts and ideas and potentially reveal the fact that they were not based on logical thing, but more so on emotional ways of thinking, or just because somebody else said it and I picked it up and ran with it. It's much easier to just cancel you or try to say that you are xenophobic, misogynist, chauvinistic, and using all these big words that people don't even know what they mean, but they just picked it up from somebody else. It's a challenge to truly sit down and kind of try to put yourself in the place of the person that's talking to you, and trying at least to understand what they're saying, and then having a conversation so that you guys can come to a consensus. You know what? Either I agree or I don't agree. Here's why you should consider my idea as being truthful because it makes this, and that. This is the basis, and that's the only way we could steer the ship forward and get to a situation where we can all live in community or together at least, or at least cooperate, bro. You know what I mean? Like, say for example, me, I do it on purpose. Like, I'll listen to people whom I know that we think differently, because sometimes, like most of the time, I'll be more aggressive. Maybe you're like me, you know what I'm saying? Like in terms of my reactions, or at least my stances, I tend to define my stance pretty clearly, and not always give leeway to the person that's speaking, not because I'm not inclusive or accepting, but because I have to think that the point makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I'm working on. I'm not perfect either. And I'm watching Playback, which is two guys that have like a social commentary channel. They do reactions to a lot of news, uproar, different videos, and whatever might attract the people's attention or their attention. And they'll make points. And ever since I started watching them, because I was having mixed feelings because I think they're really entertaining, right? They're smart guys as well. Like, they have common sense, but a lot of their points I did not agree with. And that's what it provokes when you listen to somebody who you don't agree with. There is an inner fire being lit up that makes you want to start, like, kind of vomiting all the reasons why. But the more you watch, at least the more I watched, the more I was able to listen more and try to put myself in their positions. Not that I agree any more than I did when I began, but I can actually understand. These people try to give the benefit of the doubt a lot to the people whom they react to, because let's be honest, a lot of times we don't have all the details, but I'm digressing, right? And it builds tolerance to other people's views and thoughts, and it opens up space and like opportunity for conversation so that we could like get to another level. You understand? And that's something that we're losing more and more. I don't know why, like, if you can relate with what I'm saying, like, social media has been there for like what, 10, 15 years, 18 years maybe, I don't know. But it feels like 45 years because a lot of the behaviors we used to have, we completely dismissed, and they feel like relics of another time. Like, that's crazy to me. But that's something that we have to keep, which is the ability to sit down with one another and have a conversation, chop it up, and come to a conclusion, you dig? And that's all I got for you, man. If you like the content, subscribe, share, like the video, and I'm going to see you next time. Peace.